So today guys, I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you a bit more of what we do here at Bang Olufsen of Birmingham. So today I'm at a home survey, was one of our loyal clients. He's been a client with me now for a number of years. He's just moved into this gorgeous property here in Warwickshire. He's got a beautiful bungalow with a nice bit of land. You will see he's only been in for a couple of months, so we've repurposed some of his existing Bang Olufsen setup, which was predominantly a home cinema setup that he had at his previous property. You will see it's perfectly imperfect. It is a project that's in the making. We are looking currently at expanding his multi-room setup. Just to again tell you a bit more about the client himself. He's a videographer by trade, so audio and visuals is a big part of his life. So here we are in the entrance to the property. I've got my trusty overshoes here, which of course we put on before we go around any of our clients' homes. I shall try my hardest not to fall over. There we go, that's a result. So to start with, the client wanted a bit of a multi-room speaker just to play some light music that's going to blend in more to the lobby area here. Bit of light music for when he has any clients, friends or family come around the home, just to greet them with. So we've managed to place a Biosound Emerge on top of the radiator here. One of our more discreet speakers in the range. Beautiful speaker, I really love it. When it came to designing this speaker, as of course you can see from the shape, it is as if it's a book, which comes with its own challenges in terms of creating the air pressure inside the speaker to generate enough sound acoustically. It is of course one of our multi-room speakers, so it does come with the acoustic room compensation. So we have been able to calibrate this speaker to the lobby area. So here you join me in the client's living room. As you can see, we do have a bit of a home cinema setup here today. Now just to talk to you about this, you'll notice we have a pair of BLab 28s as our front speakers. Now currently we are trialling those at the client's house for him. We do a one-to-one experience here at Bang Olufsen of Birmingham, and we're a fond believer of you actually being able to listen to the speakers in your own living space. Of course, every room is acoustically different, depending on the layout, type of ward you've got, etc. Now of course, our speakers, we can calibrate them to every room, but seeing and hearing is believing. So I'm a fond believer of demonstrating everything at all of our clients' homes. Just to talk to you about these BLab 28s, this is an opportunity now for me to tell you a brief bit about our Atelier collection. So of course you will see the pink and green colour combinations of these BLab 28s. Admittedly, not the colour combination for this room, but it's a good example to show you the customizable options that we've got for you with our whole range. So previously the client had the BioVision Theatre. As you can see, table standard in the rather gorgeous yellow gold with the grey melange covers. At the previous house, we actually had these BioLab 8s as his front speakers, and we had a pair of Biosound levels as the rear speakers. A really nice 5.0 home cinema setup. But currently the client is looking at upgrading his front speakers to a pair of BioLab 28s. So we've got them set up here just to demonstrate around the home. Currently, he's loving them. So before we move on to the new setup, I will quickly talk you how we had his old setup. So at the rears here, we had our two levels, either side, just on a little table stand. We were considering wall mounting them because Biosound level, of course, we can wall mount them, but we've decided to look at our upgrade options before we look at chasing any cables into the walls. At the front, if you want to follow me, effectively where we had our BioLab 28s, we had our floor standard BioLab 8s. Now, ultimately, that is a very nice setup. We do have quite a large living room, especially for a bungalow. Of course, we have got a bit of an open plan experience here. We've now got the kitchen table at the back and the lovely L-shaped sofa with our home cinema, essentially, at the front here. Client was looking for a bit more punch, a bit more bass. And of course, our BioLab 28s are more than capable of that. So with our BioLab 28s, we have a separate woofer driver on the bottom. That woofer driver alone is powered by a 225 watt Class D amp. And then the main chassis itself has got 3 full range drivers, all powered by a 100 watt Class D amp, along with a tweeter. again powered by a Class D 100 watt amp. Now these speakers, I mean, truth be told, they are my favourite set of speakers in the range. Studio grade sound, no doubt about it. Compared to the BLab 8s, of course, we have the increase in power, sound pressure. It's just one of those speakers, you'll get the lowest of the lows, the highest of the highs, a rumble throughout the home. But in terms of audio quality, clarity is incredible. So now there's a bit of a funny story as to how I first came to meet this client. So previously, he had a different brand, traditional passive speakers, was an amplifier powering everything. It was cable crazy, and his wife hated it. It was actually her that put him in touch with me. He came down to the showroom. We had a one-to-one home survey. As you can see, we have the remnants of the amp in the center here, purely a cosmetic item now. All of our products only need a power cable. That is it. All of our products in this particular setup are connected via Weezer, wireless throughout. Now, this room itself, truth be told, it is not the best room acoustically. It is a bit more of a challenging environment. We've sort of split up half the room here because we have our open seating area at the back there with a dining table. Difference with Bang Olufsen, and particularly the Biosound Theatre here, is we can calibrate a number of listening positions to you, which we can choose different speaker combinations. So we could say if you purely wanted a front stereo experience here, with our theatre as a centre, we calibrate your listening position with just a theatre and our front BLab 28s. Now, in order to do that, we have an external microphone that we just plug into a 3.5mm jack behind the cover here of the actual theatre. Then, of course, we would place that microphone in your desired listening position and calibrate your listening positions accordingly. Now, the beauty of it is we've done a number of listening positions. So, of course, we've got our home cinema one, but we have our dining table at the back. So when it comes round to the dining table itself, we were able to pop the microphone dead center here and calibrate our front center channel to generate sound throughout the whole room. So during dinner parties, even just a light evening meal, our client is able to listen to whatever music he chooses to listen to perfectly. So before we leave this room, I've got to talk about two particular topics with you. Number one, there's a question that you're probably already thinking. Where's the sub? Now, controversial topic. In my opinion, you don't need a sub. Our Biosound Theatre has its own unique patented algorithm for the adaptive bass linearization, and you will get a nice deep rumble throughout whatever room that you've got with it. So why spend the extra money on a sub when the theatre itself is more than capable of generating a deep rumble throughout your room? Client shared the same view, which is why we haven't got a sub. Of course, we have got a BLab 19, so if you do want some extra rumble throughout your room, we can incorporate a BLab 19 very easily into the setup. But for purposes of this setup, we don't feel it's needed. Topic number two, where are we going to go next with the setup? Now, we're actually in a very opportunist situation, should we say, with this being a bungalow. Atmos. 2 in-ceiling speakers so we can generate a true Atmos experience will make a big difference to this setup. And the beauty of this setup being a bungalow is we don't need to worry about any sound travelling through the ceiling to any rooms above. So potentially in the future, the client will be looking at some in-ceiling speakers from our collaborations with Origin Acoustics. So moving on to the client's kitchen. Now, currently, we've repurposed our 2 Biosound levels, which were previously rear speakers. Now, of course, being a videographer by trade, our client's a bit of an audiophile geek. So personally, he loves a 2-channel proper stereo experience, which is why we've got the 2, and of course, they are stereo paired. Now, the level itself is a gorgeous speaker. Again, from previous videos, you will know that it is a portable speaker. There is battery life inside. More of an in-home type speaker, though, in my opinion. Another option for this room would potentially be a Biosound A5. Biosound A5 packs an incredible punch for the power. One of our bassiest portable speakers, probably, truth be told, the bassiest portable speaker in our range. Again, it is a multi-room speaker. You've got the likes of your acoustic room compensation, so we can calibrate it to whatever acoustic environment it's placed in, adaptive bass linearizations. Of course, it's a modular-based product, so it's on our Mozart system as well. Software updates, unique digital signal processor, etc. It's a good speaker. More than capable in-home, but with up to 10 hours of battery life. If the client wants to go out and wash their car, use that beautiful outdoor space to host any environment, this is more than capable of delivering an outdoor music experience. Unique benefit of the A5 as well is you've got a wireless charging pad. So any friends, family, or the client himself can wirelessly charge his phone whilst being outside. So moving on to the client's bathroom. Now, as you can see, currently we have one of our portable speakers, a Biosound A1, finished in eucalyptus green. Really cracking speaker this. For the size, you'll get 60 watts of power from it. Third generation model, we've got a 25% improvement in bass from our second generation model. So really capable speaker. Now it's IP67 rated, so fully waterproof down to 1 meter of depth of water for up to 30 minutes and fully dustproof. So a really capable bathroom speaker. However, there is no chipset in this, so we cannot connect it to the internet. Therefore, we can't use it as a multi-room speaker. So an alternative option, which I am currently pitching to our client, is another Biosound A5. As you can see, this particular example is finished with an anthracite ring in a dark oak cover and handle. The advantage of going for one of our more flexible living range, being a Mozart-based product, we can multi-room this speaker, so the client can walk throughout his home and turn his listening experience on in whatever room they choose to go to. So we are in a bathroom. There is an echo in this room. So our other advantage of going for our A5 over Biosound A1 is that we can acoustically calibrate it to the room, and then the digital signal processor that's inside will generate the sound accordingly to best suit the room that we're in. Now follow me into what is my favorite room in our client's property. The office. Real traveling gentleman vibe, bit of safari mix as well in here. I love it. Now initially, I have to take you over to a bit of a touch on our past and our client's line of work. We have a pair of very gorgeous Biolab 4000s linked to the computer. These are hardwired. And the reason why we've chosen Biolab 4000s is due to our client being a videographer, he can't have any delay when it comes to sound and video. Unfortunately, our modular-based products aren't capable of delivering zero latency to the level that's required for our client. However, limitation to only having Biolab 4000s in this room is when our client wants to step away from his desk and just relax and listen to some music, he is not capable of it. So we've got a couple of speakers from our flexible living range that we're currently demonstrating in the office here. Initially, we've got a more discreet Biosound Balance, which we've chosen as a more discreet option, but yet a very, very powerful speaker. Again, we've got a downward firing woofer driver separate to the main unit. Gorgeous speaker. Again, we've got the acoustic room compensation, so we can calibrate it to the room. The speaker will pick up that is currently in the corner and will use that corner to generate sound evenly throughout the room. Another product which we could use, which I have chosen to match with a number of silver items, is this beautiful Biosound 2. Finished in natural aluminium. This again has a downward firing woofer driver, so you'll get deep, powerful bass rumbles throughout the room. And a particular touch I love on this is the acoustic lens. I personally think the Biosound 2 is one of our clearest speakers in the range, and I am a massive fan of it. A bit more of an eye-catching speaker compared to the Balance, so it really does depend on the aesthetics that you're wanting for the room. So another advantage of going for the likes of a Biosound 2 or a Biosound Balance over the likes of a Biosound Level is they are true 360-degree speakers. So if you did want to move them to be more central, say on the kitchen table, for example, you could stand anywhere around that speaker and get the exact same listening experience. But you can calibrate them and set them to being against a wall or in a corner. So I just particularly like the flexibility with them. Future prospects could be, if he was to lose the mirror and we really want a bit of power and rumble in this room, we could go for a Biosound A9 in the corner there for a few £100 more than the likes of the Biosound 2 or a Biosound Balance. So really hope you guys enjoyed seeing the home survey that I've done today around our client's house. I love doing these. It's nice to come out to your home. I'm a fond believer in offering a one-to-one personal approach, demonstrating all of our products in your own home. Apologies if you can hear the RoboVat in the background there. It is making quite a rumble right now. I'm really hoping that isn't picked up on my microphone, but if it is, apologies. Modern technology, hey, who'd have it? Just want to mention a few future plans we've got. I am hoping to do more of these case studies. We have got an exciting product release coming up that we're going to do a bit of an unboxing, first impressions video for you guys. And another project which I'm a big fan of is I'm currently working on a home cinema video. I'm going to try and put together a few different packages for you. Going forwards, would you like more case studies with different price points involved? If so, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. To book your private appointment today and unlock exclusive in-store benefits, click the link below and experience Bang Olufsen for yourself.